Welcome! I'm the cannabis industry lawyer answering your cannabis questions so that everybody can change the cannabis laws. And you've never done a better job at it. Today we've got more great news. It is the Veterans Medical Marijuana Safe Harbor Act, or the VMHHSA. Well, I don't really like that one so much. Let's just call it the Veterans Medical Marijuana Safe Harbor Act. Trying to truncate that into an acronym is foolish. It's not like the SAFE Act or the... Okay, let's get back to it. So, if this is your first time joining us and you have a cannabis industry question, please leave it in the comments. And while you're down there, give us a like and a subscribe. It looks like the Veterans Medical Marijuana Safe Harbor Act does one thing. It takes a line and strikes cannabis from the Controlled Substances Act only for veterans that are complying with their state laws. That's essentially it. After that, it allows veterans at the VA to access medical marijuana, provided that their state has it. So when the vet goes to the doctor, the VA approved doctor, that doctor could now give a recommendation because, as you know, medical marijuana is not prescribed, but it is recommended by doctors. The veterans are going to be able to access medical marijuana, which is great. However, let's be realistic before we discuss more of the specifics of the Veterans Medical Marijuana Safe Harbor Act. We need to realize that this is an election year. As I sit here right now, it's the middle of September. We are 6-7 weeks away from the election. All of your elected officials are right now in their districts, which, spoiler alert, go to a fundraiser. Go to a fundraiser for your congressman and tell them that you support normalizing cannabis laws and they should just strike cannabis from the controlled substance. This Veterans Medical Marijuana Safe Harbor Act is a wonderful start. However, it is only limited to veterans. Everybody should have a safe harbor. I mean, thank the veterans for their service, and they absolutely deserve it, especially considering how effective cannabis has been shown to be for helping with PTSD. But that doesn't change that all people should be able to access medical marijuana, not just veterans. And again, we're still jumping the gun. So while you're telling him, shake your congressman's hand or congresswoman's hand and really just from the bottom of your heart explain to them that the Controlled Substances Act is dead wrong when it comes to cannabis. Chuck Schumer's bill is really the best one on this that I have read, where they just strike it. They just take a line and they remove cannabis from the Controlled Substances Act. So many other of these bills, like the Safe Harbor Act, would be mooted. For example, the Hemp Act as well, also mooted because it is now no longer a part of the Controlled Substances Act. Think of all those bank laws as well that are introduced to Congress. Every single one of these videos that I do about a new particular bill that has been proposed to Congress, the vast majority of them are duplicative if you would just drop cannabis from the Controlled Substances Act. Ask your congressional representative what their opinion of that is. They should be in favor of it. And then if they are in favor of it, say, well, when can we get a vote? I mean, I realize that you're here. There's an election in 6 weeks. You know, did you get my check? I really support what you're doing to the district. But when are we going to get that vote? When are veterans going to have their safe harbor? When are hemp farmers going to have their safe harbor? When are you and me going to have their safe harbor? It's high time that this law ended. And first, I realize I just said high time, but I'm kind of sick of all the cannabis puns. So don't let them, laugh at you. Push back. Getting back to the actual text of the Veterans Medical Marijuana Safe Harbor Act, it has, and here is, we'll put a link to the bill in the description section, and I'm going to pop up the bill right now so you can see. All bills start with findings of facts made by Congress. And, I should really juxtapose this with the findings from the Controlled Substances Act from 1970, and you can see the evolution of facts on cannabis from 1970 and what Congress found to 2018, what Congress is currently finding. One of them is very interesting, and we should focus on it. It's the approximately 24% reduction in opioid overdose deaths after medical marijuana comes to a state. Period, full stop. Okay, can you imagine if 1 out of 4 opioid overdose deaths didn't happen? That's great. Now, we could also talk about substitute goods with marijuana, and I'm in Illinois. Bruce Rauner, the governor, even though he has been staunchly opposed to expanding medical marijuana, did sign a bill that allows opioids to now be qualifying patients under the medical marijuana laws. So if you have a prescription for an opioid painkiller, you now can get your medical marijuana card so that you can have it's called the substitute good effect. Let's see if your pain can be managed through a safer substance before you get addicted to narcotics, before you have to get dope sick. That just makes sense. It's just good public policy. That's why you are going to be explaining this to your congressman when you go to one of their fundraisers. And if you look at those facts and compare, I'll put the link to the factual findings for the Controlled Substances Act as well in the description. And please, while you're down there, ask a question that you have about medical marijuana or the cannabis industry in general so that I can help you and explain it. And then give us a like and a subscribe. And then, just for a second, give yourself a little high five. You're doing it, man. Changing the marijuana laws. I'm so proud of you. Okay. Here I am looking at my notes, and the bill, as you can see, I'll just scroll through it, it's quite short. It's very straightforward. Most of these bills are quite short and straightforward because all of them are predicated upon taking a line and just removing cannabis from the Controlled Substances Act. That's something we believe in over at the Cannabis Industry Lawyer, because then we can talk about more complex things like, how is marijuana classified under the UCC? Is it a farm product or is it inventory? Well, how is the person who has it being used? How does a bank lend to use marijuana as collateral? Should they value it like alcohol? All these questions can be asked and answered in the Cannabis Industry Lawyer in 2020 after marijuana has been removed from the Controlled Substances Act. And until next time, I'll be here answering your cannabis industry questions so that we can continue to normalize the cannabis laws so that people don't have to die from opioid overdose. People don't have to have their lives ruined from hey, guys, check this out. It's the word opprobrium. That's right, opprobrium. It means very, very bad things. So like the opprobrium of a criminal brand. It's essentially kind of like the Scarlet Letter, a very, very judgmental and badly judgmental thing that is burdened. I mean, it wouldn't be bestowed, it'd be burdened on somebody. All these and more. The Cannabis Industry Lawyer. Visit us at thecannabislawyer.com. And if you have any questions, it's quite easy to get in touch with me at that website. I've designed it with my company, Stumari. If your company needs a website, do me a favor. Go to stumari.co and get in touch with me. Until next time, I'm Tom Howard, and you're not.